Hello everyone and welcome to my garage where I'm about to unveil my new project. Right, let's open the garage up and see what we've got. And this is it, guys. There is not much left of it, but that is my late father's 1997 Honda VFR 750. Now before I go into what the plans are for the bike, I'm going to give you a little bit of brief history about the bike and how long it's been in the family. Right, so originally this was my father's bike, 1997 Honda VFR 750, like I mentioned earlier, and he had it as long as I could remember. I know he didn't buy it from brand new. Didn't buy it brand new in 1997, but as long as I can remember, he had that bike. Now let's start by a couple of years before 2012. My dad became quite poorly and couldn't ride the bike, so the bike was left on the roadside for a couple of years. Like I say, he was too poorly to ride it, and then eventually in the March of 2012 he passed away, and I inherited the bike. I mean, I was 21 at the time, so I think a way of me sort of coping and dealing with his passing was to focus on the bike, and that was my plan, was to fix it up, pass my test, and to ride it myself as sort of a homage to my dad, and that's exactly what I did. I paid a mechanic to fix the bike. I can't remember exactly what needed doing to it, but 3 months later I passed my bike test and I was out riding my dad's bike, which was an absolute dream. I spent a number of years riding the bike. I did some various tours, camping tours of North Wales with my friend, from Plymouth to Exeter, my place of work. It's a 100-mile round trip, most days in the summer, not so much in the winter. And it comes to 2017, I get the opportunity to do a track day at Anglesey through work. It's actually a great experience, apart from me taking a corner a bit too quick possibly, and the bike just gave way underneath me. Not a big crash, bike just low side slide down the track, completely writing off one side of the bike. At this point I had two young kids, not a lot of money, and as I'm sure most VFR owners will know, the fairings are crazy expensive, and I just simply couldn't afford to fix the bike back up, get it on the road at the time. So I then decided to street fight the bike, because I thought I would need the fairings for that sort of project, and that's what I started. I bought some straight bars, and I planned to put a Yamaha R6 rear end on it, which you can see from the pictures I started. But then my circumstances changed, and I then moved away from that house. I moved into a flat which didn't have a garage, no sort of enclosed parking, nothing like that. So the bike just sat outside for a couple of years. I didn't know what to do with it. I had nowhere to store it, nowhere to really fix it up. It just laid underneath a motorbike cover for a couple of years. And now it gets to the point where I am low on money, and it's one of the biggest regrets I've had, having the bike in my ownership, and that was I started stripping it down and selling it for parts, which in hindsight didn't make me that much money, and yeah, it's one of my biggest regrets. After selling most of the major parts of the bike, the bits that everybody wants, I was then left with rear swing arm, frame and engine, front forks. That was about it. I eventually sold what was left to a guy up in Exeter who planned to buy the bike and use what was left to fix various other projects he had going on at the time. So now fast forward to 2021, October time now, and it sort of dawns on me, I've been thinking about it for a while, that I shouldn't have got rid of Dad's bike, I shouldn't have parted it out. Can I get Dad's bike back? Maybe I can fix it up again. So I spent a considerable amount of time scrolling through my phone trying to find the guy's number. Stumbled across it, thankfully. Text him on a bit of a whim, thinking he's definitely still not got the bike, he's parted it out, he's used all the bits, and to my surprise he's still got it relatively untouched from how I sold it to him, minus the rear swing arm. So I texted him, any chance I could buy the bike back off you? He's more than willing to sell it back to me, do a good deal on it, get the bike back, and that's where we're at now. Right, now you've learned a bit about the bike's background and why it means so much to me, and why I bought 1/3 of a motorbike to start a project rather than buying a full bike and just restoring that one. Let's take a look at the bike and see what we're working with. Right guys, I'm not too sure whether the camera can pick up how rough the bike is or actually what's left of the bike, but I hope you're all as excited as me to get stuck into this project and to get this bike hopefully back on the road and looking mint again. In the next video I'll be stripping what's remaining on the frame and cleaning the frame to give myself a solid foundation to then start reinstalling, cleaning and servicing any new parts that I add onto the frame. Right guys, catch you in the next one.